I think I'll start with Antonio Brown, because why not? Antonio Brown went Antonio Brown yet again. He made an ass of himself and the Tampa Bay Bucks yet again. Here is the basic description of what happened yesterday against the Jets. Bruce Arians tries to get AB to go into the game. Brown refused twice, according to Fox Sports. Arians then tells him to, quote, get out. And then Brown did what only Brown would do in that situation. Rips off his jersey and his pads and tosses them. He throws his undershirt into the stands and he celebrates as he walks off the field shirtless. I mean, how bleeping idiotic did he look? So idiotic that stadium security told ESPN initially they thought that Brown was a fan who jumped onto the field. They didn't even know it was him. They didn't even know it was a player. They thought it was some drunk fan who got onto the field. Let me read this to you. Quote, we thought he was a jumper, one security officer said, adding that as Brown went through the tunnel, he asked state troopers for a ride to the airport, but they told him no. I mean, how insane is that sentence in and of itself? An NFL player was acting so unprofessionally that security actually thought he was some jackass fan who had run onto the field. And then as he's coming off the field, he's waving to the crowd, trying to pump everybody up, but at the same time, asks a state trooper for a ride to the airport. Hey, yo, it's me, the shirtless guy that you thought was a moron fan. How about a police escort to the airport after I just quit my job and wrecked what's left of my career in the middle of a game? In the middle of a game against the Jets, no less. Like the most Antonio Brown thing ever and the least predictable thing in life ever. Now, if that were it, that would still be amazing, but there's more. There's always more with this guy. Quote, he was shirtless and didn't have his wallet, the security officer said, adding that Brown got changed in the locker room and was able to get alternate transportation to the airport. I got to admit, as I was watching that whole thing, all I could think is, and I did my hit for the NFL Today on CBS from a remote location in California yesterday. All I could think was if I had been in New York the way I was supposed to be in New York, I could have run into AB at the airport. He and I could have hung out together. So yes, he did appear to get alternate transportation to the airport because there were pics of him waiting for a ride and then video surfaced apparently of him in the back of an Uber or a Lyft or something like that. So, why did this happen? It's a reasonable question, and here is a reasonable answer for you. Who the hell cares? Who cares? And who the hell is surprised? And if the Bucks say they're surprised, they're either liars or they are the dumbest organization ever. Because this is who this guy is, and this is what this guy does, and everybody knew it. And it wasn't a question of if, it was a matter of when. And there it is, right on cue. Dude torches another bridge and probably what was left of his NFL career. Of course, he thinks it was not his fault. Nothing ever is. He'd have you believe that the reason he did not re-enter the game was because he couldn't because of that jacked up ankle. Yeah, I guess. Maybe. Except he didn't seem to have any issues as he ripped off his pads and danced right through the end zone into the tunnel as he quit on all the dopes in that organization who actually believed that this day would never come. Did that guy look like he couldn't re-enter the game as he was dancing through the end zone into the tunnel? I mean, I'm no doctor and I can't really tell from this far away, but he looked fine to me. And let me tell you something. Bruce Arians did not cut Antonio Brown. Let me repeat that. Arians did not cut Antonio Brown. Brown quit on Arians and the team. The only reason he's not a Buck right now is because he doesn't want to be a Buck. Because they proved that they were willing to tolerate pretty much anything this guy did. Honestly, I'm shocked they're not going to just run this guy right back out there next week. I mean, seriously, how different is this from anything he's done in the past? Really, how is this different? Literally everybody in this process, Arians, Brady, the organization, everybody looks terrible because there's no way they can say that they didn't see this coming. There's no way they could say they did not know this was going to happen when they signed him, because that's exactly what they signed up for. And of course, that's the end of his time with the Bucks. But again, I want to be very clear about this. Zero credit to Tampa Bay for saying that after he quit in a game and he walked off the field shirtless and he got a ride to the airport. Zero credit to Bruce Arians, who I've always liked, but zero credit to him for saying, quote, he's no longer a Buck after the game. Arians did not go all badass and fire Brown. Brown quit. It's like that disgruntled employee who screams, you can't fire me, I quit. Question. Exactly what the hell was this guy so upset about this time? He had more than 100 yards receiving the week prior. He got a ring. He had a look at another ring. So what was so bad that this guy had to quit in the middle of a game? Against the Jets, no less. Again, they did not fire him. He quit. Because Tampa Bay was fine with everything else. They knew about everything else that we know about, and they probably knew some stuff that we don't know about, and they were fine with everything he had done before he got to Tampa Bay. They were fine with him submitting a fake vax card and potentially putting countless people in danger. Man, they were fine with all of it. Remember when Bruce Arians said last year that if Brown, quote, screws up one time, he's gone? Yeah, obviously that wasn't true at all. And he told everybody that when he was asked about the possibility of being criticized for being a hypocrite, and Arians said, quote, I could give a bleep what they think. End of quote. Man, that is the truth, isn't it? Arians, the Bucks, everybody involved could give a bleep what we all think. Not only that, but only a few days ago, Arians was telling Peter King that Brown had been, quote, a model citizen, end quote. And that there was, quote, a new history, end quote. Yeah, I guess. Except for that little thing about the fake vax card. Aside from that time that he blatantly lied to his team, his teammates, the coaches, everybody in the facility, and he made a fool out of the head coach. Yeah, other than all of that, he's been a model citizen. So again, zero credit to Arians for saying that Brown is no longer a Buck. Because at the rate things have gone with Brown and the Bucks, I'm actually surprised that he's not suiting up for them on Sunday. Again, how is this worse than the allegation of sexual assault, the burglary charges, the fake vax card, everything else he's done? How is this worse than all of that? You've tolerated pretty much everything else up to this point, so don't pretend now that you've got a conscience or integrity, or a spine. And just so we're clear, zero credit to Tom Brady for getting up there yesterday and telling everybody, you really should have compassion for Brown. Look, I know Brown is Brady's guy. I know he brought Brown to New England and had him stay in his house, allegedly, despite Brown's horrible track record. And then after the Patriots gave up on him because he made threats to an accuser that could be qualified as, quote, intimidating, Brady brought him to Tampa Bay too and had him stay with him again. And I'm sure Brown wouldn't have come back from that fake vax card if Brady did not want him back. In other words, Tom Brady is all in on Antonio Brown, and so is Bruce Arians, and so are the Bucks. So none of them get to say, oh, we've never seen anything like this, and just move on. At least they shouldn't. Brady, Arians, the organization, they owe everybody a little more accountability than just saying he's not a member of the team. I don't want to talk about it, and be compassionate towards this guy. Man, there's got to be some ownership here, right? There needs to be an acknowledgement that Brady and Arians and the whole organization screwed up. You can't just put this off on Brown having a bad day or being a troubled guy. What happened yesterday with Brown is in no way surprising and in no way out of character. Arians, Brady, and the Bucks put their reputations on the line for this guy, and they need to own the fact that they got burned and they look like idiots. Man, I would love to say this is the end of Brown's career because I would love to never have to talk about this guy ever again, except I'm not sure it is. Because at some point, some other team will say, we don't care about the sexual assault allegations. We don't care about the felony burglary charges. We don't care about the 8-game suspension for conduct. We don't care about the 3-game suspension for the fake vax card. We don't care about the threat to fight the GM. And we don't care that he quit in the middle of a game against the Jets. And all that other stuff that we don't even know about. The Raiders gave him a shot. The Patriots gave him a shot. The Bucks gave him a shot. And there's a pretty damn good chance somebody else will too. Trust me, they'll all forget about all of this and say that everybody deserves a 15th chance. And he'll get it with somebody. And then they'll say the same thing. He's a model citizen. It's a new history. And then something like this will happen. And then that team will pretend to be all shocked and surprised by it. And then we'll just repeat the entire thing all over again. Like Antonio Brown looks like an ass, but the Bucks look even worse. Not good enough, Bruce. Not good enough. Honestly, not good enough. Not after the way this guy melted down and made you look bad. And quit the way he did. You didn't fire him. You didn't cut him. He quit.